Hi, welcome to episode 338 of your favorite daily podcast. A couple of things, a podcast about things. Today, I'm going to talk about being the first to do something and the pressures of that. Or more like think through that. So, about a month ago or so, I saw this reel on Instagram, and it's this woman who was one of the first women, or probably the first woman to run the Boston Marathon in the US. And as the most shocking thing about that video is that as recently as the 1960s, women weren't allowed to run in like races. Do you know, like, that statement sounds so ridiculous, but that's a thing. And I think even today there are like areas and places in which women are not allowed to run, which is an insane thing to my mind. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. People had to fight. Women specifically had to fight for the right to run in marathons and races. Anyway, so she said something about how the women who, I think in the 1970s, they were finally able to run in the marathon, like allowed by the, I don't know, by the organizers, the law, whatever, I don't know, but they were finally allowed. And she said something like the women, they had this unspoken rule where they had to finish the marathon no matter what. So she was talking about how there was this marathon where she was really tired or something, but she was like, there's this rule that they had to finish. And it was that idea that because if they somehow didn't finish, then it become like, oh well, should we say that people should not be running marathon? Can you see? That kind of thing. First of all, I found that idea really, really silly. But again, topic for another day. The topic for today is that pressure that she's talking about, that unspoken, whether spoken or unspoken rule, where when you're the first X to do something, you must do it really, really well, so as not to quote unquote ruin it for all the other people coming after, or make it difficult for them, because people will then say that, oh, well, this is why we never allowed people of your fill in the blank do this thing, which I think is totally absurd. Like, so do they mean to tell me that all the men who were running marathons then were all finishing the marathon? Like, what is the logic behind it? Anyway, again, not the topic for today. I need to focus on the actual topic for today. And I'm just thinking about like scenarios where people were quote unquote forced to continue in things that maybe they didn't want to continue in or do because of how they look, and not just from a, oh, I'm not a quitter thing, but from a, my decision or indecision or my actions or inactions in this scenario could impact everyone else who is of a similar identity to me in this context. And that is so insane. So, like, imagine, oh, you're the first person in your family, in your whatever, in your village, in your city, of your gender, of your race, to do something or go to somewhere, and you don't want to do the thing again. You can't decide that I'm not doing this thing again because of the weight of it. Bro, that's a lot. And related but unrelated, I also think it's a thing that happens like on social media or wherever, really, where you become the person that talks about X or the person that wears Y, or and then it becomes a thing where you are now doing it because you have, like, that's the identity that people have put on you. Like, oh, for example, Lade talks about UX, so Lade is the UX person, and so the day that Lade decides to talk about data analysis, everyone's like, what? But you're the UX person, that kind of thing. And I just wonder why we do that, and how much pressure it can be on a person to continue doing something, or being a certain way, or wearing a certain type of clothing, or whatever, or doing your hair a specific way. And there are so many ways in which these things show up, whether it's in the topics you talk about online, or how you, the specific kinds of clothing you wear, how you make your hair, kinds of jewelry you wear, and so on and so forth. It just shows up in so many ways, and maybe not even on social media, in real life as well. right? Oh, this is the girl like that always has this particular type of wig. This is how we know she's the one that's coming when we see this wig. But then the day you change the wig, everybody's like, huh? But this is not how you usually look. So I want to look different today. I don't know where I'm going with this, but this shower was over right today. Thank you for listening. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things. If there was anything you found interesting or insightful, or you enjoyed the episode, please do share to someone or multiple people. Like, leave a comment, and definitely do subscribe and all the nice things. Bye.